"And this is the master suite," she said, pushing open the heavy oak door with a flourish. Lena stepped inside, her breath catching. The room was beautiful. High ceilings, antique furniture, a massive four-poster bed draped in cream-colored linens. Sunlight streamed through the bay windows, casting warm patterns on the hardwood floor. Beyond the glass, Black Lake glittered under the afternoon sun. "It's perfect," Lena murmured. The realtor's smile flickered. "It is, isn't it? The previous owners did some lovely renovations." Lena didn't miss the way she avoided mentioning how many previous owners there had been. She'd heard the rumors, of course. Everyone in town had. But she didn't believe in ghosts. She signed the lease that afternoon. The first night, Lena dreamed of water. She was standing on the dock behind the house, the woods slick beneath her bare feet. The lake was black as oil, lapping hungrily at the posts. A voice whispered from the depths, soft, pleading. "Come closer." She took a step forward, then another. Then, Lena woke with a gasp, her heart hammering. The sheets beneath her were soaked, not with sweat, but with water. Cold, fresh, smelling of algae and damp earth. She sat up, trembling, and flicked on the lamp. The bed was drenched, but the windows were closed, the door was shut, and she was alone. The next morning, Lena stripped the bed and told herself there had to be an explanation. A leak in the roof, maybe, or condensation. Something logical. But when she inspected the ceiling, it was bone dry. That night, she left a glass of water on the nightstand, just to see. She woke to the sound of choking, gurgling, wet, desperate, her own. Lena thrashed, clawing at her throat, her lungs screaming for air. She could feel it, the crushing weight of the lake, the icy fingers tangling in her hair, dragging her under. Then she was upright, gasping, the sheets clinging to her skin, sopping wet. The glass on the nightstand was untouched. Across the room, the mirror fogged over, as if someone had exhaled against it. A single word formed in the condensation. "Stay." Lena didn't sleep the next night. She sat in the armchair by the window, a mug of coffee in hand, watching the moonlight ripple across the lake. The house was silent except for the occasional creak of old wood settling. Then, just past 3 a.m., she heard it. A drip. Then another. Water pooled in the center of the floor, though there was no source. No leak, no pipe. Just spreading dampness, creeping toward her. And then, a handprint. Small. Delicate. Pressed into the wood as if someone had crawled out of the water and dragged themselves forward. Lena bolted from the room. The town librarian recognized the name before Lena even finished speaking. "Emily Harlow," the woman said, her voice hushed. "Drowned in 87. Poor thing was only 16. They say she sleepwalked," the librarian continued, sliding an old newspaper across the desk. The headline screamed, "Local girl found dead in Black Lake." The article was brief, clinical. No signs of foul play. Just a tragic accident. But the obituary photo made Lena's stomach twist. Emily had her eyes, her smile, her face. That night, Lena didn't go back to the master bedroom. She slept on the couch, a kitchen knife under her pillow. It didn't matter. She woke on the dock. Her nightgown was soaked, her hair dripped. The lake stretched before her, still and endless. And standing in the water, just beneath the surface, was a girl. Pale, hollow-eyed, arms outstretched. "You're like me," Emily whispered, though her lips didn't move. "You sleepwalk too." Lena tried to scream, but her lungs were full of water. The realtor found her 3 days later. Lena was in the master bedroom, curled on the bed, her skin bloated and blue. The sheets were soaked. The air reeked of lake water. And on the nightstand, the untouched glass had finally been drained. The police called it suicide. The town called it a tragedy. But the realtor knew better. As she locked the door behind her, she heard it. The soft, wet sound of something crawling across the floor. And a whisper, barely audible beneath the sound of lapping water. The realtor, Marcy, didn't sleep that night. She sat at her kitchen table, staring at the untouched whiskey in front of her. The keys to the black Lakehouse still clutched in her shaking hand. She had sold that property 6 times in 10 years. 6 times, and 6 times, the buyers had left. Some screaming, some sobbing, one never waking up at all. She should have stopped listing it. But the commission was too good. And the house wanted to be sold. Marcy poured the whiskey down the sink. 2 weeks later, a couple from the city toured the property. They love the master bedroom, Marcy told her assistant, her voice too cheerful. They're signing tomorrow. The assistant, a local girl with sharp eyes, didn't smile back. You gonna tell them? Tell them what? Marcy snapped. That some people have bad dreams? That old houses creak? The assistant just looked at her. Marcy threw the keys on the desk and walked out. The new owners lasted 4 nights. On the 5th day, Marcy got the call. The wife was in the hospital. Pneumonia, the doctor said. Fluid in the lungs. She kept screaming about hands in the water. The husband demanded a refund. Marcy gave it to him without argument. That night, she dreamed of Emily for the first time. The girl stood at the foot of her bed, dripping onto the carpet. Her skin, fish belly, white. You knew, Emily whispered. You always knew. Marcy woke with a gasp and choked. Her mouth was full of lake water. She rolled onto the floor, coughing, gagging, her lungs burning. When she finally caught her breath, she looked up. Her bed sheets were soaked, and on the wall, written in dripping condensation, were 2 words: your turn. The house went up for sale again the next week. A young couple, expecting their first child, toured it on a sunny afternoon. They raved about the nursery space, the quiet street, the view of the lake. Marcy smiled. She didn't mention the damp spot on the master bedroom ceiling. She didn't mention the way the mirror always fogged up at night. And when they asked why the previous owners left so suddenly, she just laughed and said, city folks couldn't handle the quiet. As she locked the door behind her, something inside the house sighed. The lake lapped at the shore, and far below the surface, something waited.